talk about how to clean the sensor of your camera. If you didn't know, when we're changing lenses, we have that opening where the air can go into our cameras and have that dust and debris on our sensors. So there's a few things that I want to share today, so let's start. The first thing is a lot of brands telling us that we have to do this maintenance of cleaning the sensor at least once a year. I know a lot of photographers that they do it almost every day. Every single time they have a photo shoot, they do this. And I don't want to say that's too much, because it depends on how much you use the camera, on your environment. It's not the same to be probably in a studio to be in the park. No, completely, you have more risk outside, you have more air, more dust. So of course you're gonna have to do it more often. The sensor really the most sensitive thing on the body of your camera, and you have to be really careful. I suggest not to do it all the time, but I'm gonna give you some tips. One way to know that if the sensor is dirty is really simple. We take off the lens and we can see the sensor. We move the camera around and you're gonna see how easy it is to see if the sensor has something on top, any debris, any dust, and you're gonna decide if it is time or not to clean it. If you have a DSLR and you have the mirror, you're gonna have to go into your settings and look for that option that says cleaning mode, and it will lift up the mirror and you're gonna be able to see and also to do the cleaning on the sensor. Another way to know if the sensor is dirty is if you already know the body of your camera, if you already know the lens, if you already know how sharp the image comes out of your camera. If you're shooting and suddenly it's not anymore that sharpness, probably the sensor is dirty and you have to clean it. Another way, sometimes the particles are really small and you don't see it, but sometimes they're bigger. You just take a couple photos and zoom in, try to explore the image. If you see these black dots and you compare more with another image and you see that the black dot is in the same place, it's because you need to clean the sensor. No, it's the dust that is creating those that is not letting the light come into your sensor and has that black dots. So something to know, those three easy ways to know if the sensor is dirty. Like you see, it's really important to do it because it affects your photography. And just to let you know, I'm doing this on my own risk. I've been cleaning the sensor for a few years now, and if you decide to do this on your own risk, you just have to understand that it's really important to be careful. The sensor is the most important thing. If you scratch it and damage on any way, you're better off getting another camera. And to tell you the truth, most of us, that's not an option. So just be really careful. If you think probably you're gonna damage the sensor, you don't want to do it. There's a lot of places, more than anything, stores that sell video and camera products. They have this service and you can try to give it to them. I had a bad experience in one of those, and I don't want to discourage you for going. In my experience, I went to this place and I was waiting. Someone else, they took their two cameras to do this service, and I was looking around, looking what else to buy, and a door in the corner was open, and I saw how they were handling the camera. One of the cameras, even the guy almost throw the camera on the side, and I just didn't like it. So I left, and I know not every single place is like that. I know there's professional people that they really love their job and they really take care of cameras. So I understand that. I mean, if you want to go, it's a good option. I'm not saying it's not. But I decided to do it on my own risk, not only because of that, but also the price. Here where I live, there's different places. One, the cheapest, it charges $75, and there's all the way to $150. This kit cost me $20, so I can get 4 or 5 or more of this one instead of getting that service that is only once, and this comes with 12 cleaning swabs, and you can do 7, 9, 8, 9 of the cleaning through the years. I really like this option. So let's show you what this kit is. And I really like this for the Sony. This is for a full sensor camera, which means that the size is 35 millimeters. That will cover the whole sensor of a full frame. So just be careful if you have crop sensor camera, this is gonna be too big. I'm gonna leave in the description on my Amazon links this one and also the crop sensor for the Sony. Remember that depending on the brand that you have, the sensor could be different sizes. Even if it is a crop sensor, they have different sizes. So just look and make sure it is for your own camera, so you are able to cover the whole sensor and be able to really do the cleaning. So that's really, really important. And for this kit, it comes with manual. Usually I throw away manuals, but I have to say that I kind of like this one. It's really simple, but I show you not only how to clean the sensor, but I give you some tips for how to clean the lens, how to clean the body of the camera. And if you didn't know how to do that, that could be really useful. And it comes like this with the 12 swabs and the cleaning. This liquid is special, so please don't use anything else because you're gonna damage the sensor. Use something that is special for electronics. This is a cleaning sensor, so I mean, you already have it, you don't have to look for it. Use this so you don't damage your sensor. And basically we have these swabs that comes in a vacuum seal package, which we know that means that are completely clean, they don't have any dust or anything, and they come like this. And basically the way the manual says to clean the sensor is to have it open, to blow some air, and see if that fix the problem. If that doesn't fix the problem is when we use one of these. We take a new one just out of the package, dry. We don't use the liquid yet. And the way we do it, we put it in a corner and we go to one side, then we lift it up, we put in the clean side, and we do it the other way. So like you can see, really simple. They say if that doesn't clean the sensor is when we throw this one away, never use it. You can have dirt, you can have things on that swab, and if you put it again, you're gonna either transfer again that dust into the sensor or scratch the sensor. So just take a new one, and it's when we use the liquid. I really like this bottle. If you squish it, it has a plastic thing on top, and if you squish it, is only one drop is gonna come out. And usually I put it one side and I drag that drop all the way to the other one to make sure that the whole swab has that liquid. And then we do the same thing from one side to the other. We lift it up and one side to the other. So and usually that clean really well. They say, of course, and I've seen it, people by mistake they put their thumb on the sensor, which should never happen. You will need probably to do this more than once to be able to get rid of that fingerprint. So just be careful, and like I say, every single time you already use one side of the swab, you don't use it again, just throw away and use a new one. That's why it comes with 12, but at the end of the year, if you're doing this through 1 year, probably you're gonna be able to do like 8-9 times, because you're gonna use the extra ones probably in one maintenance of the cleaning the sensor. So this is, like you see, it's really simple. You just have to be really careful. I cannot really show you how hard you have to press. Just be careful. There's a lot of mechanical things behind the sensor. And the first time that I did it, I was scared, and I barely touched it, and it didn't do anything. So I had to really grab another one and press a little bit hard. Usually I always just put the cleaner. I don't know, probably I shouldn't, but I've done it for a few years now and I haven't had any problems with my sensor. And pretty much that's it. This is a simple kit. Hopefully it's useful, this information. And please subscribe, like. If you have any comment, please let me know. And clean your sensor, shoot, enjoy your photography, and see you next time.